Here you go, Santos.
Good morning. This is Muscatine County Board of Supervisors meeting, Monday, January 11th, 2021, 9 a.m. The first item on the agenda is to review the agenda.
Move to approve.
Moved by Nathan, seconded by Scott. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0. The next item on the agenda is discussion and possible action to approve the claims dated January 11th, 2021 in the amount of $502,082.32.
Move to approve.
Moved by Jeff,
Second.
seconded by Scott. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Opposed? 5-0. Okay, the next item on the agenda is item with the Planning and Zoning Administrator, Eric Furness. The first item on the agenda is discussion and possible action to affirm the change order with FSS Incorporated, previously approved by Eric for the Muscatine County Sheriff Office addition, and the project approval amount was $200. Eric?
Yep, last week, JJ from FSS was working on the key card access part of the deputy's quarter project, and saw kind of firsthand effects of that ice storm we had, and found that there was a lot of ice that had blown into some of those new locks that they're installing, and reached out to us and just said he wasn't something he thought about when he originally bid the project and proposed latch covers, just steel plates on the outside that would protect from weather and ice. They do add a little extra security too, because they eliminate the possibility of tampering. So he recommended that we really consider that on those exterior doors that'll have that electric key card access. It was a very minor amount, and since he was going to be wrapping up his work last week, I went ahead and approved that. Everybody seemed to think that made sense to do that on those exterior doors.
Yeah, I'll move for its approval.
Moved by Jeff, seconded by Nathan. All those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Opposed? 5-0. The next item, discussion with possible action to accept a bid to authorize the Planning and Zoning Administrator to execute the contract for the demolition of 1995 Sweetlands Road. I know you've been working quite a bit on that, Eric.
Yep, so we had 3 bids that were received. Solsco LLC was the low bidder at $20,200 for the demolition and disposal of the single-family residence at 1995 Sweetland Road. That is, as you're aware, the property that we are purchasing through the FEMA Hazard Mitigation Grant Program, Acquisition Program. And so I'm seeking authorization to issue a contract in that amount to Solsco LLC, the low bidder.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? I did have just one question. When would that be starting if you have that approved?
As soon as I can catch up with Zach Solzberger, I'd like to get the contract issued. I've got it ready to go. As you're aware, the conditions aren't really the greatest. So we're supposed to have the structure down within 90 days of acquisition, which would actually be February 13th. But if it's deemed too dangerous to get a metal tracked machine on some of that hillside, then we'll just have to file for an extension. But this way we can at least show FEMA that we've got the contract executed. There are provisions for contract extensions for weather conditions, that type of thing, so.
Okay, thank you. So that was a motion by Jeff, seconded by Scott,
Doug.
by Doug, I'm sorry. Doug. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? Okay. Any other items?
A little update on the Sheriff's Department quarters. We are still waiting on the HVAC contractor to have those heaters. They were supposed to ship last week. I reached out to Myers and Mike Nolan, and they were going to check with the HVAC sub, so they were hoping they'd be in this week. Should be just one day of getting those installed. Everything else is ready to go. The Sheriff's Department has reached out to Johnson Controls to get the fire alarm system inspected and under monitoring contract, because that would be one of the final things we would need to get final occupancy and inspection with the city. We're still waiting on the gutter contractor to come and put the new gutters on the new addition. So other than that, just a couple little minor things that Myers knows they've got to touch up. said, JJ's about done with the locks, so as soon as we get the HVAC and that fire alarm system, hopefully we can get a final inspection. We're just kinda, holding pattern until we hear from those vendors. The generator contract, has to come do the commissioning on the new generator, and then we get a maintenance contract on it, but we've contacted everybody, we're just waiting on the vendors, so.
So you mentioned the Johnson Controls, is that something that you're helping coordinate, or is that the sheriff's department?
So, I'm helping, but, in talking with Oscar, and Sheriff-elect Reese, it's really something that the sheriff's department needs to head up, because, like in some buildings downtown, Oscar would be the one that would respond if there was a call to give the fire department access to certain areas. This building, there's fire detection equipment in secure evidence storage areas, that would not be appropriate for general services staff to be accessing, so the sheriff's department is gonna establish their contact people that would meet, either Oscar or, the fire department to allow access to those areas. So they're gonna go direct with Johnson Controls for the contacts, for any calls.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you, Eric. Okay, moving on, number 5, the discussion and possible action to accept the following reports. A is the county recorder's office report with fees collected for the quarter ending December 31st, 2020 in the amount of $84,130.91.
Move to approve.
Moved by Jeff,
Second.
seconded by Nathan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, 5-0. B, the county sheriff's office civil department report fees collected for the quarter ending December 31st, 2020 in the amount of $14,427.70.
Move to approve.
Moved by Scott,
Second.
seconded by Jeff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? 5-0. Next item is the county's treasurer's office report of fees collected for the quarter ending December 31st, 2020 in the amount of $166,945.66.
Move approval.
Moved by Jeff,
Second.
seconded by Nathan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye vote aye. Opposed? The next item on the agenda is the county auditor's office report, fees collected for the quarter ending December 31st, 2020 in the amount of $318.50.
Move to approve.
Moved by Jeff,
Second.
seconded by Nathan. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None. Discussion and possible action to approve the minutes January 4th, 2021, regular meeting.
Move to approve.
Moved by Scott,
Second.
seconded by Doug. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye. Opposed? Okay, the next item on the agenda is the correspondence. We'll start with you, Jeff.
I had nothing to note. We do get frequent updates on the COVID situation and others from, Brian, but he generally cover that, so that's all I had.
Nathan?
Same in terms of correspondence.
Okay. I had the same correspondence with the COVID updates from Brian and Christie. I did have one phone call from Paul Carroll yesterday evening in regards to a project that he's working on in the county and in the city in regards to history of the community and entrepreneurship that they're looking at in Muscatine. I think he's gonna come forward in the next couple of months trying to work on that with the community involvement. That's all I had.
I had nothing to note.
Okay. Doug?
Just the COVID updates is all I had.
Okay, we'll come right back through you, Doug, on committee reports.
None.
I had no committee.
I had no committees.
I had the Muscatine Community Health Association, basically just kind of our year beginning organizational meeting. Talked about wanting to continue to increase the activity and impact of the group. And I apologize, Betty, I forgot to tell you this one. I also had the 7th Judicial District Correctional meeting on Friday. pretty standard stuff there.
Okay. Jeff?
Had nothing.
All right. Okay, the next item on the agenda is items with the administration office. First item is discussion and possible decision regarding the recommendation to increase for the county's insurance limits crime coverage.
I included a copy of an email in your packet regarding this. This came up as we were working through the county attorney's involvement in conservatorships. We wanted to make certain that we had adequate coverage for situations that might arise there. And after getting quotes for us, our agent of record, Jeff Miller, is recommending that we increase our crime coverage to 100,000 and our bond coverage to 500,000.
So, does that mean that covers our liability up to that amount?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing conservatorships, 10,000 is nothing. Yeah, I would move to approve this.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion by Nathan, seconded by Jeff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, the next item is discussion and possible decision regarding amending the Muscatine County's healthcare and department care flexible spending arrangements to allow unused contributions to be carried over the following plan year for 2020 and 2021 only.
Yes, right now, the way our plan reads and what has been allowed by law is if you do a flexible spending account for dependent care, if you have any money left at the end of the year, you just lose that. For our medical reimbursement one, you can carry over up to $500. The COVID relief bill that was passed also included provisions that for the year that just ended and the year that we're in, we can amend our plan to allow people to carry over however much they have for both medical and childcare. At the end of the 2 years, unless we took other action, we would go back to the just medical only and 500.
I'll move for approving of that.
Okay. Motion. Okay. Motion by Jeff, seconded by Nathan. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
I vote aye. Opposed? Okay, 5-0. Discussion and possible action to approve the Board of Supervisors assignments and various boards or commissions in 2021. Okay, so I think the appointments and boards and commissions were sent throughout the attachments.
Yeah, we had a brief discussion on those
Yeah.
last week, Santos, and I think everybody was pretty much good with staying where they are. I think Scott had maybe thought if somebody could take magic,
Right.
then I could use some help with that regional workforce. I think Nathan indicated he might be interested in helping with that, so.
Good, okay.
There also are some boards and commissions that typically the chair or by the bylaws of the group requires the chair to serve on. So by state, typically we have the chair and vice chair are the two appointees, so that would be Santos and Scott, if you want to do that. The City of Muscatine Transportation Zone Commission, the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Muscatine County Enterprise Zone Commission. Typically, the chair serves on those.
Okay, so then this one's just the 2020, all right, so then,
Right,
okay.
I just gave you the what you have right now.
Okay, so then I'm good with that, so then I can move that one on from the, so on the bi-state regional planning
Yeah,
commission.
you've been on bi-state as the vice chair, now
So
you'd
then
be, and then
would be-
Scott would run into that, and then the chamber. We've always had the chair on there.
All right, so do we wanna go one by one through these, or do we?
We can if you want
It's
to.
probably easier for Betty.
Yep.
All right, so then let's go ahead, and so the first one is gonna be the bi-state regional planning commission, and that'll end up being me and Scott.
Yeah.
All right, so then the next one's gonna be the Bi-State Drug and Alcohol Consortium,
I'll keep the drugs and alcohol.
and that'll be Nathan. Okay, so then
Got
the
that
next
big
one
fund coverage now, so
is the City Muscatine Transportation Zone Commission,
that'll be you.
and that'll be me.
And I will say that, you know, in my terms as chair, I've never seen a meeting of that group.
Yeah,
So
they rarely, if
very rarely ever meet,
Okay.
but if they do.
All right, so then the next one's gonna be the Community Volunteer Nominating Committee, and that'll be Nathan, you're on that now, do you wanna stay on that?
Sure, although I think it's a contradiction of terms. How do you nominate a volunteer?
Okay. All right,
But, okay, no, I'll do
Alright.
it, that's fine.
okay.
Same with DCAT.
The next one's the DCAT Board. All right, so then the other one's gonna be the Eastern Iowa Mental Health Disability,
Disability service.
Disability Services Region. And right now you're on that, Jeff, and so
Yeah,
am
and
I.
I'd like to stay on that, we have a
Okay.
couple other items to clean up and do, and then probably look for the next session, maybe.
All right,
See if
So-
something
and
else
I
is
can stay on that
interesting.
one.
You
with
would stay,
You're
you
the
stay on as the alternate,
I can
yeah.
stay on the
Okay with that,
alternate.
Santos?
I am unless, you wanted to have some passion.
No one's
Scott.
clamoring to join me there.
All right. Okay, so the next one's gonna be the Greater Muscatine Chamber of Commerce Industry, and that's you right now, currently Jeff, and that'll be me.
Yep.
All right, so then the next one's gonna be the Regional 9 Workforce.
And we should probably change the
Investment.
title of that to the Mississippi Valley.
Yep.
Workforce,
And that's gonna
Changing
be,
Region 9 to Mississippi Valley.
yeah, Region 9 is no mas.
Yeah,
It's
you're
no
right.
longer, we consolidated Region 9 and Region 16 in the reorganization last year.
and that's the one that you're gonna take, Scott, or is that one that Nathan's gonna take?
Nathan
We'll
will
take that over.
Nathan will take that one. All right, so then the next one's gonna be the Community Health Association,
I'm happy to keep that one.
okay? Muscatine Board of Health,
I do with my phone in here.
Howdy.
Or TV,
okay, so I don't know.
I'm leaving 40.
Good to know.
All right, so then the next item's
I
gonna,
wrote everything down, so I'm going to between what you said you had started and what I had.
Bill, can you mute
Oh,
the,
yes, because I just moved the
Sarah,
page.
I think that's Sarah.
sounds like Sarah.
yeah,
Okay,
all right, so then,
I'm fine with the Board of Health.
okay, so you're on the Board of Health,
Yeah.
Scott, continue to
Sorry,
stay on
turn
that.
it back.
The next item's gonna be the Muscatine County Conservation Board,
And I'm fine there as well.
Scott will stay on those. All right, the next one's gonna be the Muscatine County E911 Service Board, Jeff, you're on that currently,
yes, I can continue that.
okay? The Muscatine County Enterprise Zone Commission, Jeff, you're on that currently,
That'd be you, Santos, as chair.
Yes,
Okay.
Chair, and again, don't ever recall a meeting of that. Did you?
all right. The next one is Doug, you're on the Muscatine County Fair Board,
Yeah, I'd like to stay there.
okay? All right, so then the next one is gonna be the Muscatine County City Joint Administration Board, Emergency
control.
Management.
Flood Control Commission. Do you have that on yours?
Is that a different one? Is that what you're saying
Yeah,
it's
the
called?
Flood Control
Remains the same.
Commission is Holiday and.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one.
It's all right,
Okay, I'm
it's
sorry. my
paragraph,
bad.
it's okay.
Muscatine County Flood Control Commission, that's Scott, or Doug and I. Doug, are you still good with that? I can stay on that one as well, too. The next one's gonna be the Muscatine County City Joint Administration Board.
Yeah, I
That's
can stay
actual,
there.
you can stay on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. The next one's gonna be the Muscatine County REAP Commission. Scott, you're on
That's
that
fine.
currently? Okay. Muscatine County Safety Committee. Doug, you're on that currently? You good with staying on that? Okay. Muscatine County Veterans Affairs Commission. Nathan, you're on that?
Yep. Oh,
Stay
happy
on
to
that.
continue to serve, yeah.
Okay, the Muscatine County Solid Waste Management Agency, I'm on that, and I kinda wanna stay on that, knowing as much as that they got going on with the new, expansion they're doing on that. Region 9 Transportation Policy Board. Jeff, you're on that.
I'm happy to continue.
Okay. 7th Judicial Department of Corrections Services Board. Nathan, you're on that.
Yep.
Okay, the West Liberty Economic Area Development, we lead. I'd like to stay on that. Wilton Development Corporation, Doug, you want to stay on that? Okay. Muscatine County Joint Community Commission, Doug, you're on that? Stay on that?
Doug and I are there, and I'd be fine to stay there too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right. They didn't put that right beyond there. Okay, the next one is gonna be the Magic Board, 2-year terms. Scott, your term ended this last year, and Nathan, yours ends next year.
So we would
what
need
do we do
somebody
on that
else, and
one?
that's one, Scott, that the meeting times are a challenge for you.
Meeting times
I
are
mean,
tough for me.
if I could do that, I would be happy to do that if
Okay, so then
those
you'll,
meetings shouldn't be a problem for me.
all right. Jeff, you'll take
You
that
got one
one.
today?
Oh, do they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, way to go, Mark.
It's always a fine line with you guys, you know. You go off and then you guys just don't have your meetings, so.
All right, so then the next one's gonna be the Riverbend Transit Board. Okay, so then Nathan, you're gonna stay on that as well?
Yes,
So that-
yeah.
Okay, just make sure we're clear on that. All right, so the next one's gonna be the Riverbend Transit Board of Directors is a 2-year term. Scott, your term ends on that, or you?
I actually am going to continue that.
Okay, so then we'll renew that for another 2 years.
Yeah.
All right,
I actually chair that group.
okay, so we'll know another 2 years for sure.
No, it's all good.
All right, so the next one was one that, I thought we talked about this one last year, knowing that I don't know how much involvement we have on this one, but it's the Milestone Area Agency of Aging, and that term ends on 6/30/20.
And that was Bob Howard was on it. I reached out to Milestones to find out if their bylaws in any way defined the appointment, and actually what I heard back is that they no longer practice appointment process for board membership, so we are under no obligation to have anybody serve. They would certainly welcome any interested member to join their advisory council, which meets 4 times a year via Zoom. And if you're interested in doing that, then I have an application process and fact sheet that I can provide.
I would say, the history on this was this board used to fund that, and that used to be a part of a funding stream but with the consolidation of Area Agency on Aging a number of years ago, I think our interaction has been much more limited, and I would say that it's probably a board or commission that this board does no longer needs to participate in. I think that area is an area that if you're not active frequently, we may have other community volunteers that we would encourage to come forward and talk about, because I know we do have some very active community folks in with some of the senior stuff, and that might be a better fit than one of us.
Okay,
They're more in tune with the policy issues that are going on.
Sounds good to me.
I think we're good with that.
So I'd recommend we just remove that from our appointment list.
Okay, thank you. Any opposition to that? Okay, we'll move forward on that. So then the next item is the Lower Cedar Watershed Management Authority. Currently, Jeff, you're on that with Eric Furnace.
Yeah, and I think we took action a number of months ago. That has transitioned from kind of a startup activity to more of a working group, and quite frankly, Eric is the best fit for that as far as fit and what the kind of work they're doing. It's more of a technical board, and I think that I have total confidence in Eric. He understands what our kind of philosophy, and he'll be a good member. So I don't know if a board member I can continue as an alternate, but basically Eric has been handling all the yeoman's work on that for the last several months anyway. Probably a year, I don't remember when we did that, Eric. And that is a pretty active board. They're doing a lot of things. There's going in some grant writing and grant processes and stuff, so it is some work.
I think it'd be good to continue to keep you there as an alternate then, because you know,
That's
we
fine.
probably have the good history around that.
But let's put, you know, Eric would be the primary and then I would be the alternate
Okay.
on that.
Alright, so the next item's gonna be the Bi-State Regionals Trails Committee. And I'm currently on that with Kurt Weiss, and I'll continue to stay on that one. I'm also, yeah, because there's also one for the City Trails Committee that I'm on as well. Alright, so the next item's the Ad Hoc Conference Board Committee. Scott, you're currently on
Yeah,
that.
I'll be happy to continue.
Okay. All right, and the last item is the examining board with the assessor Sherry Seawright. We'll continue to stay on that one throughout 2021. Thank you. All right, is there anything else that I'm missing? Are we good with what we got set up?
I would like you to take action to approve the list as you just reviewed it.
Okay, so I'll make a motion, we approve the list as amended.
Second.
Okay. Motion by Jeff, seconded by Nathan. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I vote aye, opposed? None? Okay, any other new items?
I don't have anything else, no.
All right, the next item is receive information from county employees. Right,
Good morning. Here's the information from the State of Iowa's website on the coronavirus. For Muscatine County, positive cases are 3,751. Of those recovered is 3,261. We have 75 deaths. Of those, 68 are underlying and 7 are contributing. Our long-term care facilities are 0. Presently, the school district for Muscatine County is at 15.3%. And the current vaccination phase for Muscatine County is phase 1A. Basically, that is the primary healthcare workers dealing with patients. I know fire departments, EMTs, paramedics have been. Friday was a meeting with the state Iowa Department of Public Health with industry and businesses trying to explain what the process is. The state has an advisory committee. They are meeting today. They will be discussing who qualifies under phase 1B and phase 1C. So it's quite an extensive process based on what you've been reading in the newspapers, seeing in the news. There has been a logistics problem with getting the vaccinations. Public health here in Muscatine has been working a lot. They've been communicating with me. Right now, we are still at considered closed points of distribution that are happening at the local public health office. Again, they are only allotted so much by the state. So, we continue to give out the vaccines for those, and hopefully we can get things resolved a little bit later with the state getting more sent out.
Brian, I've heard nationally where, I've seen reporting where the vaccines weren't getting out. In Muscatine County, the vaccines we've been allotted, are we distributing those and have those been administered?
Yes,
Are we in pretty good shape on that?
Yes, they're going through local public health, and they are coordinating that. They have given some already last month. There are some days that they are scheduling this month. They are going to also set aside 2 days for round 2.
So do we have any idea, like on our allotment, if we're 70% distributed, 10% distributed, 90% distributed, would we have any idea?
I can inquire on that.
That might be nice to know, so understand that if we're doing our job to get them done as quickly as possible once we get the vaccines.
I'll do that.
Well, that would also talk maybe more into when phase 1B would be coming in, correct?
Yes,
I mean, obviously,
I,
if they're 10% complete on phase 1A, or if they're 90% done on phase, would that be going into timing of the 1B, or my comment that I had heard recently was in regards to the state is looking at all counties trying to be complete with 1A before they allowed it 1B, and I was hoping that wasn't be the case, because not all counties have the distribution logistics like maybe we do.
well, and I think that's the challenge of trying to get all of the 1A done. From my understanding is they're based on the population. They're only given so much for the county here, and they're waiting for other counties to catch up. So that's a question I can bring up to public health and just talk to them today.
Well, would it be public health, or would that be the state that's directing that wait and hold?
Everything's coming from the state down.
So they're giving the public health the direction of who to vaccinate, what class, and giving them the number of doses, basically.
Yes, they are sending the doses directly to public health.
Yeah, I think it would be good if we had an idea, what percentage of the phase 1A we were complete. That would help us possibly even have those conversations if needed with the state. Because I think that would be a discouraging factor when you start thinking of bigger counties like Johnson County or, Polk County, and how somebody, in the logistics like ourselves wanting to move forward. I don't think that that's a fair assessment, knowing that we want to be able to continue to vaccinate and get ourselves into 1Bs and 1Cs if needed, if possible, I should say.
Want to know
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions? All right, thank you, Brian. Any other county employees? Okay. Next item is to review the comments from the public. If there's anyone on the public call that would like to be able to please state your name, your address. Okay, there's no bills. All right, if there's no one on the call, we are going to move into the budget. However, I'd like to go ahead and take a 10-minute recess to get everyone ready. It is 9:33, and we are adjourned.